Just to give you a little bit of what the story is this is how the tithe kind of changed my wife and I's faith together. God used the tithe to build like a building block for my faith and my trust. So my history, I didn't go to church when I was a kid. I didn't go until I was invited by my wife. We were dating when I was 21 years old. So she invited me. We go maybe 3 years now, about 24 years old. We got a little baby, we're married, been married a little over a year. And she had grown up in the church and she's like, man, we got a tithe. And, I had a lot of trust issues. I didn't trust anybody, let alone God. Or I went to church every week. We did the thing. We just showed up. My tithe was we gave $10 every week. And if something bad was going on, I need some Jesus, I might give 20. But that was it. That's just what we did. And that's just real. That's what we did. And she was always on me. And I had to have control because I couldn't give up control of my money. And I believe that God knows us better than we know ourselves. Because I had a lot of problems as a child, and God used getting a hold of me with the tithe, getting a hold of my money, to get me to trust Him to build those blocks to heal my past. And so she was telling me about this, and at the church we were at, they passed out these books called ABCs of Financial Freedom. Real quick read if you ever want to get out of debt or work on your finances. ABCs of Financial Freedom to help you out. It's by Barry Cameron, and our church at the time was having him come in to speak. So my wife's all on board, and she reads the book, and she's like, you got to do it, and I just push it to the wayside. So a couple of weeks goes by, a month, whatever, he comes in, and he speaks to us, and he caught my attention. So I went home and I read the book. And in the book, this one little section got me. It's about a governor who comes down with his son. They're like McDonald's. They're just killing some time for whatever reason. Get a couple of Cokes and a thing of fries for his boy. As they sit down at the table, he goes to get a French fry from his son. His son just hoards him. He pulls him back. And this governor's like, does my son not realize I could buy enough fries to bury him right now? Like, I'm not even hungry. I just want to share a fry with my son. And in that moment, the governor's like, man, that's how I'm treating God with my tithe. Because at the moment, the governor didn't tithe. He didn't do that. So he's holding back because he was like me, he had that control. So the story resonated with me. I come home and I can't do anything half-hearted. I'm like, man, I'm in. I'm 100%. Let's go. So we sit down, we do the budget. We had never wrote out a budget before. We write out a budget. We get it down to the T. Every dollar's got a name. And like on Friday, everything's perfect. Everything's got, man, bills are paid. We get crazy. We actually cut up credit cards. I'm like, we're golden, dude. We're skating, we're good. Sunday comes, we go to give the check. And I think they had to pull it out of my hand, but we handed it to them. You know what I mean? It was like, I didn't want to let it go, but we did. And everything was perfect until Wednesday. So I get home from work on Wednesday, and she's upset, and I know she didn't want to tell me that something was wrong, and I was a jerk, because I was. And she's like, I didn't budget for diapers. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, I didn't budget. I'm like, just go buy some. She goes, there's no money. We didn't have the credit card because we cut up the credit cards. We didn't have money in the bank account because we put food in the fridge, and we tried this whole, let's do a budget together. And of course, me, I'm blaming her. It's her fault. You wanted to give money to the church. You wanted to give all our money away, and now we're broke. And we're literally in this argument, and there's a knock at the back door. And I turn and I go, put on a happy face, everything's perfect because someone's there, because we got too much pride to have a problem. And that's everybody, right? And at the back door is my mom, and she's like, man, the sand, she's got this big thing of diapers. And I'm like, I don't say a word. She doesn't say a word. And, my mom visits for a little bit, she leaves, and I look at her, and I'm like, man, that is God. There is no way that wasn't God. I didn't say a word to my mom. She didn't say anything to her mom. The very next day, her mom brings over some toys, I think, maybe a couple things for the baby, and a pack of diapers. And I'm like, so what was resonating to me, and I got to put my phone on, so I can't keep them all memorized like Caleb. So in Malachi 3:10, it says, bring the whole tithe to the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be enough room to store it. And so on Wednesday, God provided what we needed, and on Thursday, He flooded us. We had more than we needed. me from going to church every week for the last 2.5, 3 years, whatever, to taking my first step to trusting God. And he used that situation to build us. We got closer. We worked together. Like I say, as the years went on, I went through some other things, and I got to heal my past. And we have grown since then. And so it was almost as if from that moment on, we couldn't afford not to tithe. Yeah. And because of that one single step of faith that I couldn't do, I was like, I can't do it. I'll take one step. And God's like, I'll meet you. I got you. I'll take care of you.
That's right.
We worked together. We kept a budget. We kept picking at it. You know, we paid off debt, except for the house. But we got there. And we got where we wanted to be at in life. And we've gotten stronger since. And so as I see people and they're like, man, I want to tithe, but I can't give up that control. I want to give my money, but well, that's because of your heart and your control and you're holding it. And when you let go, so many greater things will come out of it. And I'm living proof. And it's just one story, but even 4 weeks ago, I had another story. And I believe it's because we've been faithful, because we tithe, and because we work together on marriage. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.